It might have smart technology, but the latest generation of mobile phones is being accused of not being very clever at all. Some in the bird world are blaming them for increasing the risk of extinction of the state's rarest birds. The debate centres on the ethics of using bird call applications known as apps. Some birders use the apps to attract their rare quarry. Others believe they're stressing the birds to extinction. Fiona Breen went bush with some twitchers who want the smartphones turned off.
For twitchers Penny Geard and ELAINE MACDONALD, a trip to a nature reserve on the southern outskirts of Hobart is part of their weekly routine. It's a haven for native birds, and most of them are easy to spot, except for the birders' favourite, one of Australia's most endangered, the 40-spotted pardalote.
In this park, there are, well, we last counted 8 last season breeding birds.
The tiny jewel-like pardalote is a pin-up of the bird world.
Tasmania actually has the entire world's population of this species, so they're not found anywhere else.
The most recent census found 1,500 across the state, a 60% population decline over 17 years.
They're incredibly unique, and they just have such a small distribution these days that that's probably an attraction in itself.
It's the 40-spotted pardalote's rarity that could be its downfall, particularly at the Peter Murrell Nature Reserve.
It is renowned. You can find it in the internet, any reference to the 40-spot. The Peter Murrell Reserve is the main place close to Hobart where you can go and have a chance of seeing the bird. It's free, internationally, nationally, locally. These 4 pairs of birds are being hunted.
To lure the 4 pairs down from the towering white gums, birders and photographers are using smartphones with bird call applications.
I didn't really become concerned about the app immediately. I was very pleased to see people using it because I thought they were using it to remind themselves of the call. And I didn't realise they were using it against the bird, and I do say against because I can't see any good reason to use this.
For just 99 cents, smartphone users can download the Tasmanian government's own Bird in the Hand app, complete with bird calls.
Well, people are interested in it, and they're particularly interested in it because it has a 40-spotted pardalote on it. It's an endangered bird, one of Australia's rarest birds, and it's well known for overseas birders and tourists that come who are interested in birds.
Click on the app and you might convince the real thing there's a rival in town invading their territory.
What they're doing is really cruel. It's quite a trap. It's trickery.
The 2 bird lovers are worried their local 40-spotted pardalotes are stressing out.
I've seen the bird follow someone who had been using it and making the territorial call, and even followed and was right above his vehicle as he packed his camera gear away. And he was totally unaware because he hadn't learnt enough about the bird. And the bird had taken offence. It was the male making the territory call, and he was seeing off an invader, an intruder on his spot.
Do you think the bird was unhappy?
Oh, definitely.
Under state and federal laws, it's an offence to disturb any threatened or endangered species.
Any prolonged observation of the 40-spot here in the park is just another stress on the bird, as it's a bird that is stressed now because of its numbers and all the other birds that flock into the park. It's just living in a stressed environment. So I can't imagine that an app would create anything but more stress for it. Whilst the bird is stressed, it's not feeding, it's really we just need these birds to be out there breeding.
Everything in the reserve should be protected from disturbance by people, and that includes rousing the bird, which I think this is what it does.
It's a hotly debated subject on international chat forums.
There's certainly a lot of interest around the world in terms of the ethics of using bird calls as playback to bring in birds for people to look at the birds. The big question that we have is that we don't know what impact it has.
In some parts of the world, playback to attract birds is banned.
Until such time as we know for sure that it's not having an impact, we can't really say that it is or isn't, and so we just have to be cautious, you know. And you know, if you only got 4 pairs down at the reserve, and everyone's going down there, you know, with their phones doing this and this and trying to get the birds, it's probably something the birds could do without.
2 bird lovers in Tasmania are certainly convinced it is.
Use the app with your earphones. Don't try to use it to draw the bird.